Hey guys, I'm Glitter Valkyrie, and today we're going to pull on the Rearmed Robin banner. I was not expecting an Awakening banner or a rearmed character this soon, but I am here for it, and I am really excited to pull today. So we will talk about this banner as we go along, but let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so our plan for today is going to be to pull colorless and green, because those are truly the only characters that I really want on this banner. I think that there is so much value in both colors, and I'm really hoping that we can get them both. But if we get to 40 and we don't get anything, I think that we will probably have to take Robin just because those rearmed characters are rare, and I think there's so much value in those rearmed weapons, and so I think that that's what we'll have to do. But I'm really hoping that it doesn't come to that because I really want to get air as well. So hopefully we can get them both. And I think that if we don't have either of our desired colors, I think we'll probably have to go for reds just because that's our 5-star. I think that Gregor is a pretty decent character. He's not really one that I was attached to when I played Awakening, and there are definitely characters that I would have preferred to see in place of him on this banner, but he does make sense. He does deserve to be here, and so I'm fine with him being here. But overall, I really don't have that much of a connection to him. And of course, we also have Fila on the banner, and I was actually quite disappointed with her inclusion on the banner because there are so many characters that we should have seen by now, like Vake and Kellum, and I think that there was such a missed opportunity to just add Kellum to Faye and not say anything. I think that would have been so perfect and funny and in character, but unfortunately that did not happen. So hopefully one of these years we'll see both of those because those are characters on my bingo board. But yeah, I think that Fila was just kind of a weird pick. And so I think she has a nice design, but I don't really want to get her. And of course we had Rickon that was added as well. And while I'm not really attached to him, I know there were a lot of people that were waiting for him, so I'm really happy for those people. And so I guess that covers everybody on the banner. And so we can probably go ahead and answer our viewer questions now. And as always, if I did not get to your question, I am so sorry. I will try to do it in a future one. And if you think of a question you want to ask me, just leave it in the comments with #question, and I will put your question on my list. So our first question today comes from William Rivera, and they ask, what do you think of Ascended Air? This is a perfectly timed question. So I love everything about Ascended Air. I think that her design is absolutely beautiful. One of my favorite Ascended units. I think that they translated the design of Amir so well for Air. I think that the colors are just gorgeous, and I love her little birds. And I also think she's going to be a super strong character. So I'm really hoping that we don't get to 40 with nothing and have to take Robin because I really want to get Air. And I'm really hoping that talking about her will bring her home. But thank you for that great question. And let's go ahead and answer our next one. And this comes from Kaken's channel. And they ask, if you could choose the duo of your choice, who would they be if the unit were your favorite unit as the backpack and your least favorite unit as the lead? And if so, would you pull? So this is actually kind of, sort of, but not really happened to me already. A couple of years ago when we had the pirate banner with Veronica and Xander, because Xander, of course, is one of my favorite units of all time, and he was paired with Veronica, who at the time I did not like. As of right now, I would say I'm pretty neutral on her. I don't actively dislike her, but she's not one of my favorites. But at that time, I was not a huge fan. So I pulled for them anyway, because it is Xander, and I'm going to pull for every Xander. And so I think that it would be the same if Lara Shell were the backpack for anyone. I think I would have to pull. And so if we're talking about worst case scenario, if they had a lead like Surtur or Sumia or Charlotte, that would be rough too. I would still have to pull even though I don't like the lead, just because it is Lara Shell and I have to pull for every Lara Shell. But thank you for that great question. Okay, so let's back out and we will answer another one. And this comes from Thomas Smithhurst. And they ask, do you like any character that just isn't a nice person? So I would say that it depends upon your definition of a nice person. So I think that a big part of why I like characters that are villains, it's because they have a reason for why they are the way they are. So characters like Leone from Sacred Stones and Zephiel from Binding Blade, those are characters that are really sympathetic to me. Like, I understand why they are the way they are. I kind of sympathize with them, even though they do really terrible things. So you could say that both of those are not nice people, but overall I do really like them as characters. But if we're talking about like a purely not nice person like a Surtur, no, I do not like them. But thank you for that great question. Okay, 3-star. And it's a Zama. All right, so let's go ahead and back out and we will answer another question. And this next one was actually asked by a couple different people. This comes from Atriso, Jakey Connor, and Illuminite. And they all asked about my thoughts on Sumeru. And there was a bonus question from Atriso. And oh my goodness, that was a super, super lucky question. I'm so excited to see her. Okay, let's check IVs. And she is plus HP minus res. I am more than happy with that. I will be happy with any Robin that we see. And getting back to this very lucky question, I was also saying that there was a bonus question from Atriso. And they asked about the Sumeru characters that I was planning on summoning for. So to answer the first question about my thoughts on Sumeru, I cannot say enough good things about this region. It's definitely my favorite by far. I think that the area is so well designed. I love that it's really varied between the rainforest and the desert. I love that contrast. And I think that I probably prefer the rainforest over the desert. And I think that part of that might be because I suffered for like a week in the desert trying to find scarabs for Cyno, and it was so painful. But overall, I think that I do prefer the rainforest just a little more. But both areas are super well done. I do love the pyramids in the desert as well. And aside from like the design perspective of the region, I love the characters and I love the Archon. Nahida is definitely my favorite Archon by far, and I'm so excited to pull for her. But they also gave us a ton of wonderful characters like Kalei and Nilu and Cyno and Alhaitham, of course. So I really enjoyed a lot of the characters that they've shown us. I also think that the writing is very good in this patch, and so it's just the best. And then to answer the bonus question from Atriso about who I'm going to pull for. As for characters that I pulled for so far, I did pull for Cyno. And I did get a bunch of Candace when I was pulling for him, so that was really neat. And I was actually pity broken by Tighnari on his banner. And so he was not a character that I was really aiming for, but it is a Dendro character, so I was not going to complain. I also really love Kale. And as for the other characters, I did try to pull for Nilu, and I was unfortunately not successful. I did just a couple 10 pulls, and I did not get her, and I'm not going to use my pity on her because Nahida is coming up, and I have to get her and her weapon and constellations, and so unfortunately I have to skip Nilu, and it really hurts, but I'm really hoping that we'll get her on a rerun, and hopefully we'll get a rerun soon. And as for some other characters that we haven't seen yet, of course we are pulling for Nahida. I'm also really excited to see Yao Yao whenever she comes out. She was a character that was released like a long time ago with some promotional materials. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. You know what? I have pulled him so many times. I don't know why he likes to come home. Okay, let's check IVs. And he's minus speed, but that is Deadeye. I am not going to complain about that. But getting back to this very lucky question, I was saying that I'm definitely pulling for Nahida, and I wanted to pull for Yao Yao as soon as I saw her promotional materials, like very shortly after the game came out, and I've been waiting all this time, so I'm really excited to see her. And then as for some other 5-star characters, I'm not interested in Scaramouche. I'm not really interested in Baiju just because of the way he treats Chi-Chi. And while I like Dia as a character, I really don't like playing Claymores, so it's pretty unlikely that I would pull for her. And of course, we are going to pull for Alhaitham, and so I think that after we are done with Nahida, we're probably going to be in saving mode for Alhaitham or for like a Nilu rerun. But thank you again for that super lucky question. Okay, smoke, please be air. Oh my goodness, Rickon. You know, while he's not a character that I'm really aiming for, it's always nice to see a new character. It really changes it up. So let's go ahead and answer our next question. And this comes from Kana23 and Lindius. And they both asked about my thoughts on the new Resplendent Elise. So I was so overjoyed when I saw that she was going to be our next Resplendent. She is a character that I've been waiting for a super long time. I'm really excited for her to get more stats and to get a merge. And while I think that her new design is absolutely adorable, I love the fairy design. I think that it really fits her. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited to see her again. That's amazing. Okay, let's check this one. And she is minus attack, but I am happy with all the Robins. And getting back to this very lucky question, I was saying that while I love the new art that we have for Elise, I'm actually probably going to keep her original art just because it's some of my favorite art in the entire game. It's just so well done, so beautiful, and it really captures Elise. But I am even more excited because the merge that we get with this one is actually going to get her to +9. And so I'm really hoping that she shows up one day as a 4-star special character. And if not, we're going to go for that final merge the next time she's on a banner. But yes, I am very, very excited. But thank you for that great question. Okay, 3-star. And we get a Lucius. All right, so let's go ahead and pull this next green and we will answer another question. And this comes from Chaco M. And they ask, can you show us your Halloween Lara Shell build? Oh my goodness, I am always happy to share anything about Halloween Lara Shell because she is my favorite unit in the entire game to this day. I still use her a ton, even though she's probably been power crept by other characters. I really do like using Plegian Torch on her. I run Ruptured Sky, Attack Speed Catch. I do have a Trace on her, and I think that I run Attack Speed Menace as well. I think that she functions super well to this day, and I'm really hoping at some point we get some sort of arcane green tome, because of course I would have to give that to her because she is the best. But yes, that's my build for her, and I think that it works super, super well. But thank you for that great question. Okay, let's see if we can get an air. Okay, smoke. It's a chicken. All right, so we're at our 40, but we have to pull these greens. It's like required. Okay, 3-star. That was not worth it. It's a Hawkeye. All right, let's pull this last green. Another 3-star. So this was not worth it, but you know, if I didn't pull those, I would have never known. So let's back out and we will go ahead and spark for air. And of course, we are taking air. I'm so happy that we're able to do this. Oh my goodness. I absolutely adore that art. It's just so beautiful. And we get the thing, and a floret, of course. So we are going to go ahead and end things here. I am so happy with how this went, and I truly hope that you are just as lucky if you are pulling on this banner. And I also wanted to thank everybody that submitted questions. I really, really appreciate your support. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.